So it's nice, and we're great friends with them, so it's nice to have the two different styles so close to each other. I'm Fergus Garrett, by the way. I'm the head gardener here, and my assistant head gardener is Suli and Yannick who's a very capable gardener from Belgium. They're going to take you around. We're going to split you in two so that they can take you in smaller groups around the whole garden. But I just want to give you an overview. About what goes on here. This is well known for being the home of Christopher Lloyd, who was the country's one of the world's leading gardeners and garden writers. He was an amazing man. I worked very closely with him for over 20 years. I met him first of all in the 80s, and he was really quite a magician. Really, he didn't want to do the same combination over and over again. So he would always try new things. He loved bright colour. He loved the countryside and wilderness coming into the garden. That's why you've got the long grass areas throughout the garden, and they're very important because 98% of that's habitat has disappeared in this country since the Second World War. So all the insects and all the butterflies and those sort of things that are associated with these long meadow areas have declined as a result of that. So Dixter is very nice in that it's got remnants of 400-year-old grassland here with lots of terrestrial orchids, and Yannick and Suli will show the orchids to you, which are very, very rare. And so we're taking the seed from those areas and putting it out into the wilder landscape now, just to sort of encroach those wild areas into the landscape. So we're not only going out there, but we're letting the landscape come into us. And you'll see lots of Queen Anne's lace that we've used this year to link all the planting up. And Dixter's a very, as Suli and Yannick will explain, it's a very long season garden. Some of those beds that you're looking at have already had 3 displays in them. So they may be snowdrops and hellebores first lot of tulips next, and another lot of tulips now, and it's going on to the next phase, which will be a mid-season plant before the full-time summer plants come in. So sometimes you have 5 layers within one planting, and just coming and going as they are. As well as those intensive areas, you've got areas that haven't had really much intervention, like those fern areas at the back there, up against the house. There's self-sown ferns underplanted with bulbs, and that remains the same year after year. The bulbs come up first, sink underground, the foliage is going off on the bulbs, and the ferns take over from it. So that's very slow moving in its changes, whereas beds like the one behind you will change 3 times a year, perhaps, but often twice a year, and they're never repeated from one year to another. So you move on to new things, and so they've got you've got very skilled gardeners just dealing with seed sowing, getting the timing right, just the associations and all of that. So it's a very creative place, and at the centre of all of it sits this amazing house, and part of the house is open to the public. That part houses some of the students, and we've got a house steward as well, and we have guests there who are horticultural guests or associated with architecture and so on. So that part is very much living, and that one is for the public to see. And it's a very, very nice place. I've been here over 20 years now, and I still find it incredibly exciting because the cow parsley that you see, the Queen Anne's lace you see through the garden, we've never ever done it like that before. It's just out of the blue. You see how it completely changes the look of the garden in just one sort of full sweep like that. And next year we'll do something different, and who knows what we'll do next year, eh? We don't know yet, do we? It's just very organic, and rather than having, Sissinghurst is great, but it's much more static than us, and it's great to have the two together,